Hey guys, so I've been watching closely like a hawk for all the news and teases from both the Tomb Raider channel and Aspire Media channel for the upcoming 456 Remastered, the Darkness trilogy as they call it. I still prefer calling it Jonel Elliott trilogy, and there's a lot to cover. And you know, I wasn't really able to cover every single little tease or YouTube short or anything they would release via a separate video. I feel like the video just wouldn't be all that interesting. I would also probably go crazy, and I, needed to focus a lot of time on my business. But I was waiting for a major update, something big to really talk about and maybe use it as an opportunity to summarize it. And lo and behold, we have a new PlayStation blog post, so let's take a look at it together. Okay, so this blog post is from January 28th, so I am a bit late to the party, but nevertheless, Tomb Raider 426 Remastered launches February 14th, guys, just 1 week from now on. Time flies when you're having fun. Reveals new FlyBy camera maker. So, here we go. Plus details on new features including ammo counter, new animations and cutscene skipper. So it's again Matthew Ray, Associate Brand Manager at Aspire, same guy that writes every single PlayStation blog post on 456 Remastered and also 123 Remastered, except for the very first one, which was written by Chris Bashar, I think. Anyway, so we've seen this guy for a while now in PlayStation blog posts. The incredible response to Tomb Raider 123 Remastered inspired us to go a little deeper for Lara's next remastered adventure. Thanks to the overwhelming support and enthusiasm from the Tomb Raider community, we're continuing to enhance the journey for fans with 456 Remastered, which launches February 14th. This time we're introducing exclusive tools and fresh new ways to experience these iconic adventures. Okay, and this is exactly what they're going to be talking about. Mostly actually new animations, but let's see. In this article we'll dive into some of these exciting new additions, features that redefine how you'll engage with Lara's world and cement this remastered trilogy as a labor of love for both the developers and the fans. Interesting. I'm happy they mentioned the developers here. Oh, and by the way guys, last time I made a video like this, it was still not clear whether Saber are the developers. It is clear now, despite them somehow making the best of efforts to hide that fact. It's really odd. But anyway, this is still Saber, but we'll only see in the actual credits if it's actually the same people within Saber also tackling this remastered package. So, capture every epic moment. Photo mode is back and it's better than ever. Building on the beloved features from the previous trilogy, you'll still have countless poses to strike and weapons to outfit Lara Croft. This collection features all the photo mode resources from the first collection, plus a slew of new ones for players to discover. Okay, so this is half of my hope fulfilled, that all the outfits, poses, guns, everything from 1 to 3 will make it to 456. However, it needs to be said, we have not yet seen any evidence that the photo mode and outfit selector, anything like this, will make it to Tomb Raider 6. It was only demonstrated, as we'll see when we go deeper, in Tomb Raider 4 and 5, so that's slightly concerning. I would also like them to re-implement all these outfits, poses and features back into 123 Remastered. That would be a really neat transition between these two packages, but no word about that yet. Introducing the FlyBy camera maker. So, completely new thing, no one expected this. One of the most exciting additions for Tomb Raider 426 Remastered is the FlyBy camera maker, a tool that empowers players to create their own dynamic cinematic shots. This feature lets you map out a moving camera path through any scene, opening a world of creative possibilities. Take a look at this video showcasing the new FlyBy camera maker in action. And you know guys, I'm just gonna pause here, I'm gonna play the trailer for you and we're gonna come back.
I have a feeling things may turn nasty.
Okay, so it's always better to see it rather than just read about it, but let me also break down the trailer with you guys. I'm just gonna mute it for now so it doesn't interrupt us. So customize Lara Croft, change pose, guns and outfit. This is the same interface we would see in 123, of course with a different graphic. I think on the... I don't know why they chose this blue window. I think it looked a bit different on the original PS1 release of Tomb Raider 4, but anyway, that's what I settled on. Let's just see the different outfits they'll use. Okay, we've seen shotgun and Uzis. There was something called an FMV outfit. Is that different from classic? Oh yes, look at it. Her cargo pants are of a different color, and her boots as well are suddenly black like in the FMVs. Oh, that's really cool. I actually thought they're just gonna use the FMV as a template for the new classic outfit, so to speak, but no. They did it differently somehow. I wonder why. I guess they wanted to respect the original version's in-game model just being so very different from the FMV one. Interesting. Okay, there's also the Russian camouflage outfit. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I need to pause here. Young Lara. So this is kind of, I think, the first official shot, unless I missed something, of course, that we get of young Lara. And okay, the outfit looks great and everything, but it doesn't look like young Lara. It looks like adult Lara wearing young Lara's clothes. You know what I mean? She's not shorter. She doesn't look any younger. I think they tried to give her a bit of a cheek blush to make her look younger or something like that. But yeah, this is an odd one. To be fair, I don't know how really you can pull that off without making her look creepy or something like that, so I guess it's a bit of a compromise. But yeah, it's not bad at all. And this is the camouflage she uses in Zapadnaya Lica, a navy base in Tomb Raider Chronicles, with a beanie cap. A brief look at the deep sea dive underwater suit. Yeah, I was already commenting on that a couple of months back, that she no longer looks terrifying, but actually kind of cute with that underwater swimming cap. And then very brief glimpse into the cat suit, and oh my god, yes, they updated it, they listened to the feedback, this is awesome. Guys, if you remember, actually, we're gonna see that in this trailer, and I'm just gonna find it right here, right now. Because this one released a bit earlier. This high-tech catsuit outfit of Lara had these yellow shades, the sort of infrared headset glasses she would use when talking to a particularly stereotypical version of Zip that I cannot stand, but one of the criticisms was, guys, please make them black as in the original, and it seems that's what happened. Now, on Aspire Media channel, you will see both of these trailers 2 days ago, and you'll be like, okay, well, which one is the more recent one? This one is the more recent one. The Fit Check trailer is actually older. I think it released even early on the PlayStation channel or the IGN channel. It's a bit confusing, the release schedule across the individual channels for the same trailers. Anywho, let's look further. So this is a completely new screen, you know, you just had the static shot and Lara settings. Now we have video settings, so you are able to place up to 20 cameras, it seems. Each camera, you can kind of change the angle, you can twist it, the FOV, so how zoomed in, zoomed out it is, and the speed of movement in between different ones, and the curvature on the way between two set camera points. So this is fairly straightforward, and then it says play sequence. One thing, however, in the trailer itself, whenever it would do this zoom into Mummy or to Lara, they would play a Mummy sound. Or Lara would say a quote, and there would be music playing. I don't actually think this is how it's gonna be in the actual game. I think that's a bit of a trailer magic being, you know, sprinkled across. But I think in-game when you do this, it's just gonna be completely quiet, and you kind of are gonna have to add your own sound effects via video editing. Still, it's a pretty cool template, okay? So, and this is a summary of what we just explored together. Simply place up to 20 cameras, wherever you like. Fine-tune your shots by scrolling through. By the way, guys, this is gonna be so useful for me personally, because in my Let's Play series of these remasters and even Tomb Raider 3, 4, 5, I kind of do completionist Let's Plays if you want to check them out, and I always do kind of a statistical summary of how many enemies, items, destructible objects, secrets, and, well, for Tomb Raider 3 specifically, crystals, are in each level, and I try to make sort of an atmospheric flyby shot of a level doing that. And I feel like this is going to be incredibly useful for me to make those sliding screens at the beginning of each of my videos, so I'm happy about that. Fine-tune your shots by scrolling through your placed camera points and adjust various settings like roll, field of view, zoom, and movement speed. Hit the play button, it's that easy. It doesn't stop there! Oh no! Lara Croft herself can take center stage. Using photo mode, you can position her within your custom shot, choosing her stance, expression, weapons and outfit to match the mood and the style of the moment. The tool isn't just for cinema enthusiasts, it's for anyone who's ever wanted to see the world of Tomb Raider through a filmmaker's lens. Something like this would have made me so happy when I was a kid. I feel like I'm not quite as playful as I was back then, but the little playfulness I still have left from my childhood days, I really try to indulge with as much as I can. We've been blown away by the vast amount of photo mode creations that the community has shared across the internet, and this is our way of adding on to that. To be fair, this is smart. It's gonna create countless YouTube shorts, I think, and kind of create engagement and popularity of these games. So it's a really smart idea and makes everyone happy. And for people who don't care, you don't need to engage with it at all, which is the way it should be. We want to see what you make, so keep on sharing your creations with the community. Ammo counter. Another new feature designed to enhance your overall gameplay experience. Now you'll have a sleek on-screen display showing the remaining ammo you have for each weapon in your arsenal, ensuring you're always ready for the next encounter. I love how this is said like such a mind-blowing feature. But to be fair, okay, so maybe my memory is a bit unreliable, but I believe there was ammo counter for Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation on screen on the PS1 version, but I don't think it was there for the PC version, or am I mixing it up? Guys, I'm gonna check after I finish recording, and I'm gonna let you know via a comment onto this video that I'll pin there how it behaved in the PC and PS1 versions, because the PS1 I have emulated via DuckStation on my PC, and the PS1, the PC ones I have installed, so I will check. If you're managing resources during an intense boss fight or planning on your next move, we hope that the ammo counter will keep you sharp and in control. So, it's sleek, it's a number, congrats. No, but of course I'm happy it's there. I just find it funny when you have to write an entire paragraph about adding an ammo counter, but okay. It's a tough challenge, yeah. Cutscene skipper. Now this will come in handy in Cambodia. You guys who've played Last Revelation know what I'm talking about. God damn it, Von Croy. We fully realize that this is a fan base is very passionate about playing these games over and over again. I think there's some frustrated developers, you know, talking about it, who had to replay a segment to test something over and over, but they're completely right. No one likes having control taken away from them constantly, and Von Croy is a villain not because of the story of Last Revelation, but because of constantly interrupting us in Cambodia. Anywho, thus we wanted to make it a little easier to get through the chit-chat and jump back into the action, totally up to the player's choice though. Of course, if you want to rewatch the cutscene for the 5th time, more power to you. Maybe you'll unlock some kind of achievement for that, maybe not. Either way, we hope you enjoy having these options. So cutscenes worked a bit differently in 4 and 5 than 1 to 3. Well, maybe not. I think the only cutscenes, and I'm not talking about FMVs or cutscenes at the beginning or end of a level, I mean just kind of those that interrupt gameplay, were very rare. I think picking the piece of Skion in Tomb of Qualopec in Tomb Raider 1 could count as a cutscene, although it was more of a camera angle, because the game didn't fade to black and then back. Also, maybe Lara waking up in Offshore Rig was a bit of an uninterruptible cutscene in Tomb Raider 2, or also, you know, picking up the dagger of Xian after removing it from dead Marco Bartoli's dragon corpse, essentially. Those were, I guess, the only examples of cutscenes interrupting the gameplay. Tomb Raider 4, especially the tutorial levels in Cambodia, they are just so annoying because of the constant interruptions, and I think this is the major reason why there's going to be a skip option. To be fair, on PC, some of those were skippable via pressing the look key on your keyboard, but not all of them, and it was kind of unpredictable. So it sounds like they're going to do it properly and give us this option. I also hope that this hold to skip text will not be flashing during the actual cutscenes, like don't do it. Maybe it will appear on screen if you press the triangle button or some other button and it will correct you. Oh, you need to hold it to skip. That I would be fine with. Just please don't, you know, mess up our cutscenes with this floating text. Or maybe this text isn't even gonna be in the game, they just used it to get the point across for this article. Hard to say, we will see. Anyway, I welcome this, because replaying certain segments, especially if you're achievement hunting and that sort of thing, and not being able to skip cutscenes, infuriating. Nevertheless, for my Let's Play series, I will be skipping no cutscenes whatsoever, because I love them so much and I want to respect them. New animations. This is the real meat of the article, by the way. Lara Croft's adventures have always been defined by her agility, elegance and grace, so in Tomb Raider 4 to 6 Remastered we've introduced extra animations that we hope will breathe fresh life into your gameplay experience. Okay, this is really cool. Slide to run. Guys, remember the previous article? We had this screenshot and we would see slide to run being toggleable but not knowing what it is. They finally cleared it up, and I've seen many of you guys say that this is what it does, and you were absolutely correct. I actually didn't figure this out. So it means that when Lara stops sliding, rather than stopping fully and then having to reinitiate movement, she will transition into movement via unique animation. And apparently this was an unused animation from the original games that restored for the remaster. This is really interesting. This is the kind of cut content remasters should bring to the table. You know, cut content that was cut due to time constraints of the original development cycle. And now you have the luxury to do things right, as Lara said in the announcement trailer. So I'm really happy to see this. I also really want to see this implemented into Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3 Remastered. I think especially in Tomb Raider 3, the level geometry is such that there are multiple instances I can think of where this would be incredibly handy. But yeah, actually I'm currently working on editing the Antarctica level of TR3 Remastered. Multiple places where this slide to run would have been appreciated there. Okay, let's move on. Hang on a ledge behind. So press the action for tank controls or secondary for modern button when close to a ledge. This is the other action button they introduced for modern controls. When close to a ledge behind Lara, and she will safely step down to it. Look, I'm always happy to see a new animation. That to me is inherently exciting, and also seeing glimpses of Cleopatra's Palace is one of the most beautiful levels of the original. But what's the gameplay benefit? I don't understand. Maybe for modern controls this actually makes more sense than tank controls, but for tank controls I would just hop back and hold action and that's it. It would be even faster than this. Or I would roll into the ledge and transition into grabbing it like this. Which takes me to another point. Hang on ledge front was walking, so you need to hold the walk key, I presume, and press the action, so as not to do it by accident, by intentionally. And there are never pickups or items you would want to pick up at the sort of end of a ledge, so this makes sense. They're always kind of in the center of a square. But I'm close to a ledge in front of Lara and she will safely step down to it. So it's the same thing like up there, but she will do this turn me move. And again, I don't see the real gameplay benefit, because I always just, if I know I'm gonna do this, I'm kind of roll into that animation already. But maybe I'm talking as someone who, you know, is more of an experienced Tomb Raider and already knows in advance what they want to accomplish. And for new players, exploring levels and Lara's functionalities, this might be useful, because if you're already facing a ledge, you at least don't need to, you know, hop back or slowly turn around. You can just press walk and action to do this. So yeah, I can see some benefit added into this. It's just not much, but that's good. You know, if they would do some drastic changes that make the game easier, then it might not be particularly faithful to the original. Yeah, so I mean, it's nice. I kind of hope that these will be toggleable, because I will probably not want to trigger these by accident, but we'll see. Now this one intrigues me, but it's kind of unfortunately only in the modern controls. Turn around in place. Whilst walking, press the roll button whilst Lara is stopped to make her turn in place. This is for modern controls only. So if this is modern controls, we can see she can roll. See here? She transitions from round to roll, but this one she just quickly turns around. But they say you need to be completely still to execute this move. So I guess if in the modern controls you're moving and press the roll key, this will happen. If you're standing still and press the roll key, this will happen. Again, I'm not experienced, haven't really messed with the modern controls, so I cannot tell you how useful this is. But it seems to me like these are parts of the improvements to the modern control scheme they highlighted in this previous PlayStation blog post. They said they are tweaking still the modern controls. Again, any changes like these I will really welcome in 1, 2, 3 Remastered, despite the fact that I don't really personally care about modern controls, but I know many of you do. Awesome. What intrigues me way more is we see Jean-Yves in his office, and yeah, we're not really gonna take a better look at him, are we, than this for now? That's fine. I wonder how closely he resembles his FMV counterpart. And look, he has this receding hairline, a couple of a bit longer hair at the back, a bit of a sideburn hit. He really looks like Jean-Yves in the FMVs. That makes me very happy. By the way, this is Alexandria, and a place you'll want to revisit frequently to see all the unique cutscenes and conversations Lara can have with Jean-Yves, which is also going to be tied to an achievement in the Remastered trilogy, which is awesome. Okay, classic cheat codes return. Fans of the original games will be thrilled to know that the classic cheat codes are making their return in Tomb Raider 4 to 6 Remastered. With its infinite ammo, skipping levels, or other nostalgic tricks, every cheat from the original release will work just as you remember, and if your memory needs a little jog, don't worry, Aspire's support site will have a full list of cheat codes available closer to launch. Time to relive those iconic moments with a little extra flair. I really appreciate it. You know, especially in single-player games, cheats are nothing to be, you know, ashamed of, afraid of. Let people tweak their own, you know, gameplay experience however the hell they want to have fun. I'm all for that. This is great. Now, saying that, I'm not going to be using cheats in my own Tomb Raider 4 Remastered Let's Play, unless they're going to be tied to an achievement and we'll have to or something like that. I'm probably going to show them to you and then just start a new game or something like that. We'll see. But I really appreciate this. This is also an important part of games preservation. An invitation to revisit and rediscover. With a rich legacy spanning decades, Tomb Raider 46 Remastered is more than a collection, it's an invitation to rediscover the magic of Lara Croft's formative adventures and share them with a new generation of players. Where will the adventure take you? Pre-order? No, don't pre-order digital goods. Please guys, terrible business practice, and it's gonna make the industry worse for all of us. There's no need to. Well, okay, you get 10% discount, fair enough, there's an actual value in doing it if you know you will get it anyway, but for those of you who are still undecided, wait for it to release, you know, wait for reviews, and then make an informed decision. Okay, and lock in your Valentine's Day's plans for February 14th. God damn it. Okay guys, I understand that this is Lara's birthday, it's a really cute Easter egg, it's really sweet, it's nice, but bloody hell, this has made last year's Valentine's Day incredibly difficult for me, and it's gonna be the same thing next week from now on, but that's a personal complaint. Okay, so that's it as far as the PlayStation blog post is concerned, but I would also like to take us to the socials. So this is the official Tomb Raider channel. You will see that neither the FlyBy camera maker or the fit check trailers are here. But what they did, and they've been a bit busy for the past few updates, they gave us essentially a comparison of the burial chambers. There we go. And also they gave us a shot of the Times exclusive level, by the way. These are not the burial chambers. Anyway, these are the burial chambers. But that's one thing I wanted to show you. Another one is a bit of a comparison of the Fountain Square in the Streets of Rome level, which I think they did a phenomenal job. Antico Cafe Reco. Those of you guys who speak Italian can let me know what Reco means. I have absolutely no idea. Almost sounds like Greco or something like that. Oh yeah, walking across tightropes. Oh, that's a lot of fun. We'll see how that handles in modern controls, I'm curious myself. But another thing I wanted to point out is that what's I think really cool, they got in touch with Jonelle Elliott, the voice actress responsible for Lara's voice in Tomb Raider 4, 5 and 6. That's why I call it the Jonelle Elliott trilogy. She's here sharing her favorite moments. Then also the voice actor for Curtis, the other playable character in Angel of Darkness. Really badass voice. I like his voice so much, which is weird because I hate and despise the character so much. Okay guys, sorry, I have to go on a tangent here. Curtis has a soul patch, he also wears 2 t-shirts, and also, the first time he meets Lara, he starts touching her inappropriately, like, okay, I know that he's a dear character to many of you guys, but why are you Curtis fans? Why? Anyway, enough with the tangent. Eric Lauren did an outstanding job. He talks about, you know, how we wanted to really get this noir voice over to Curtis, which I think is really cool. And also Pete Connolly, the music composer for these games. I actually have a vinyl of the Dark Angel Symphony back there, and I listen to it from time to time when editing my videos, and he says how his favorite piece was essentially the VCI building soundtrack from Tomb Raider Chronicles. Anyway guys, if you haven't seen these very brief interviews, just a couple of seconds or a minute long, feel free to check them out. And yeah, then as for other channels like Aspire Media, there's the FlyBy camera maker trailer we already checked, but we haven't really properly checked the fit check trailer, so let me play that to you right now. Alrighty guys, and now let's take a look at it together. So, just, frame by frame, like we would the Meet the Bosses trailer, that sort of thing. So a nice transition from the original Desert Railroad level, one of my favorites of TR4, and kind of, this for me marks the point where the game just drops in quality and becomes more tedious as opposed to fun in the previous levels. But anyway, that's nor here nor there, I'll talk about it more when we tackle the game together. But the Desert Railroad, it's such an iconic part of her adventure, and it's much darker, but the dust storm creates the sense of speed and danger. You do not want to fall off that train, which is funny because you're gonna have to do something dangerous and very close to falling off the train to actually get to, navigate the level and move across, which is awesome. Ninjas, we see the utility belt, katana, sheath, or scimitar. I think these are from African countries. More Arabic assassins, so they have curved swords, of course they do. But also they come with guns. But these guys, and unfortunately we are not really gonna get such a good look at it, but rather than having normal curved swords, they have these almost like tridents that extend and move around, almost like they're made of some biological material. It always looked a bit weird in the original graphics. I'm so curious to see what they'll do in the remasters with it, how to explain that kind of technology. And they can use them to block bullets. Russian camouflage, Tomb Raider Chronicles, okay, this is everyone's most favorite boss. The crane operator, rest in pieces. It's such a funny situation, just the whole fact that they made this a central piece of the level, but I love to navigate it, and to get a better shot of Lara's outfit, I guess this is as good as it gets. This was also kind of used as a promotional artwork for Tomb Raider Chronicles back in the time. I still have a burnt CD version of the game, burned by my cousins, with a print of Lara in this exact pose, although there I think the shot was taken in the sinking submarine, not the base itself, but yeah, still pretty cool. Oh, black and camouflage, Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. So this is Lara's hot pants outfit that in the original Angel of Darkness game, she just completely randomly transitions into. First she has her long pants, then you enter through a door to the next level and she suddenly has, cargo pants, which was always a bit weird, but yeah. Black and camouflage, so, Darkness trilogy, so her t-shirt is dark, her pants are dark green, it's all very dark. I want to know not how you look, Lara, of course I want to know that as well, but also how you control. That's the most important thing, I think, for the Angel of Darkness Remastered. And by the way, may I just say, they did an outstanding job with the lighting in this greenhouse area. Remember back in the announcement trailer how everything looked just like in the original? They showed us some really old footage. When nothing was remastered, here we are finally seeing some touch-ups with the lighting and the textures. I'm very happy about that, because this greenhouse area, it really reminds me of sort of the Arkham Asylum-esque greenhouse, or what was it? It's a madhouse level, a greenhouse in Tomb Raider 3 The Lost Artifact, and it has such a potential. This essentially in 19th century architecture. Okay, deep sea dive outfit, look how terrifying Lara was. I already covered this in detail in my previous video. And there, she looks cute and smiling, awesome. And she's avoiding small submarines firing torpedoes next to her. See this thing, this rocket? That's a torpedo. Lara can drop shaft flares to confuse their targeting system, which is a fun mechanic. Then of course the denim outfit, this one I actually have fond memories of, because I remember the first time I booted up Angel of Darkness as a kid, I was like, whoa, this is such a leap in graphics. And then as I tried to play it with the terrible controls, I was gradually more and more disappointed. But the first impression the denim outfit made on me was really good, so it still remains. Again, Lara, I just want to know how you control. I want to know! There she is, climbing into a window, opening a cupboard. So tons of new animations for Angel of Darkness for exploring all sorts of goodies. Makes sense, in a different new engine. And this we already covered, Originally the remastered shades were yellow and they turned them in the green in this FlyBy Camera Maker trailer. Hopefully that's the more recent one. Woohoo! Swinging on poles, new move for Chronicles. And wetsuit, actually this one really reminds me of the wetsuit Angelina Jolie had for the Cradle of Life movie. In my opinion, terrible movie, but with an amazing intro. The movie starts great and then just goes to complete shit. But this reminds me of that same outfit. I think it's even the same, if I'm not mistaken. We'll need to make some comparison, but yeah. A wetsuit, now we see it on solid surface, but more importantly, we get to see the wetsuit underwater. Okay. a bit of an awkward angle. We see the sea monster that you can feed to sort of navigate the level. I think they leaked an achievement where you don't feed this monster and still progress the level somehow. I'm not experienced with Angel of Darkness, only played it twice, long ago, so I cannot tell you. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. And one thing actually, the swimming controls in Angel of Darkness, the original PC release, were actually really good. I found them even better than Tomb Raider 1 to 5. Swimming, just swimming, nothing else, just swimming, okay? The swimming was great. I was looking forward to the swimming sections because Lara really controlled well. Then you climb onto solid surface and like, oh shoot. Okay, and that's essentially it. So, oh yeah, talking about Angel of Darkness, there's one more thing that I want to show you guys. Okay, so here we are. I wanted to take us to an article that's been out from January 16th, so I know I'm 2 weeks late, and I made a short post sending you to Game Breaker's UK's channel to check out a really good short brief analysis, which is like the opposite of what I do, on his channel, to check it out. And I never really wanted to tackle this because I'm hardly an authority on Angel of Darkness. Like I said, only played it twice, many years ago, to completion, of course. I don't count, you know, started and unfinished attempts. But you know what, since we are here taking a look at all this sort of media and footage and materials they are releasing, we might as well take a look at this. So, restoring Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness Remastered. And we start with a shot at Curtis, which to a lot of you guys made you really happy to see the character, and I have to concede he looks far better than in the original. His eyes actually now have a little bit of life to them. And again, look, Murty Scofield wrote a character who's essentially kind of like a Neo-Templar or part of a secret society trying to fight the evil dark society in the background, which sounds incredibly badass, okay? He's gonna have supernatural powers, gonna be an ex-legionnaire with training at the peak of his physical performance, that sort of stuff. And yet, somehow, the design and the visual artists came up with a guy wearing a soul patch, 2 t-shirts. And you know what, okay, I can excuse the hairstyle because this was early 2000s, this was hip and cool at the time. Look at me, I'm hardly the authority to talk about hip and cool hairstyles, but this is such a bad character design and I just cannot stand it. How could they fumble on paper something so cool sounding to look like this? I have absolutely no idea. By the way, this is not me dunking on the team behind the remasters. No, they're sticking to the original vision, right? And there are also many people who consider themselves fans of Curtis. Again, guys, let me know why in the comments. Sorry if I'm being, you know, a bit rude and that sort of thing. I just really don't like this character. The fact the first time Lara meets him, he starts touching her and then she starts chasing him and then he's immediately knocked out by a random guy we've never seen before. It's just... This is a character who's like every teenager's dream of edginess and coolness, and then as you grow up you realize, why did I consider this guy cool in the past? That's how I feel about Curtis. Anyway, less said about Curtis from my side the better. So, accused of murdering her former mentor Werner von Croy, Tomb Raider The Angel of Darkness follows Lara Croft as a fugitive, unraveling intricate web of secret societies locked in a centuries-long shadow war. See, this is exactly, Curtis was supposed to represent one of those sides and was supposed to be really cool. Emphasis on was supposed to, my god. Though initially divisive, The Angel of Darkness has developed a cult following over the years, with fans becoming digital archaeologists delving into its cut content and unrealized potential. That's true. I think there are really only 2 games that received as much attention as the cut content of Angel of Darkness, so one being the Angel of Darkness and the other the original Tomb Raider 1 remake developed by Core that got cancelled and we got Tomb Raider Anniversary instead. Which makes many people hate Tomb Raider Anniversary. I don't, I think it's a great game, I love it to bits, but I actually have more fun with it than the original Tomb Raider 1, but I understand the sadness behind the cancelled Core project, which again, thanks to the digital archaeological work done by people like Ash from his own Tomb Raider channel, incredible work put there, and it's now kind of playable to explore the levels in using Lara's moveset planned for that game, which is really fascinating stuff. So, Tomb Raider 4, 5, 6 Remastered aims to realize the full potential of the Angel of Darkness by so much of the content, original vision for the game. So now we know that corner cover, from which you can shoot, is a restored content, and dual-wielding guns. That's been confirmed and even shown on footage, and also the leaked achievements list. We don't know what else, probably some new items and the herbal shop in Paris, something about an antidote there or something like that, we'll see. The developers from Saber See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Finally, thank you. This put my mind at ease so much. And Aspyr have focused on reintroducing elements that fans have long celebrated, enhancing the experience of this cult classic. Here's a list of some of the restored content, including the Angel of Darkness. Again, guys, full disclosure, I am not an authority on Angel of Darkness, but I'm gonna share my thoughts. You guys are gonna definitely correct me in the comments, which is great. I welcome that. So, as with the previous remastered games, players can choose between tank and modern controls for Angel of Darkness, and I love this statement. However, we highly encourage players to use the modern controls, preferably using a gamepad. As the developers have breathed new life into them. With the modern controls, Lara feels noticeably more responsive and intuitive to handle. So, you know, it's funny that they're essentially saying, tank, look, the original controls are shit, don't even bother, because you're not gonna finish the game with them. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off this, and honestly, yeah, the controls are my biggest pain point with Angel of Darkness, the second biggest one being just missing story beats for the story to actually make sense. That's kind of unforgivable for me. But, who the hell is Karel? Why is he the final villain? Okay, no, sorry, I'm not gonna get into Angel of Darkness rant. So, I really hope that, and they kind of hinted at this, the modern controls introduced in 1, 2, 3 so far have been inspired by the Legend Anniversary and Underworld. And those games, really, I don't recommend playing with PC and keyboard. They're really made for controllers. And I'm getting the same kind of vibe here for the modern control scheme of Angel of Darkness. And here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I don't know if I'll be covering Angel of Darkness already this year. Depends how fast we'll be with wrapping up Tomb Raider 3, Tomb Raider 4, Tomb Raider 5. It's more likely that I'll start covering Angel of Darkness early next year. I'm just trying to be realistic about my own rhythm, given how long Tomb Raider 4 is. But I am gonna play the original PC release that I have on Steam alongside it, just to get a hint of what are all the differences between the remasters and the original version. Since I'm not as experienced with it, I still want to appreciate what the remaster did differently, what's the restored content, so that's how I'm gonna tackle it. And for the original PC release, I'm gonna be using the original keyboard controls, and probably for the remastered version, I'm gonna pick up a controller, like they're suggesting here. We'll see. I'm gonna kind of imagine that I'm almost playing LAU Trilogy, in a sense. The camera can be fully rotated 360 degrees, and Lara can jump in the direction the camera is pointing without needing to adjust her facing before jumping. This sounds good, but it's potentially very dangerous, depends on what the sensitivity is gonna be like. Not only can now Lara shoot mid-air, okay, nice to have an official confirmation and perform consecutive jumps, but she can also shoot from around corners in stealth mode, correct? There's an achievement for landing a kill like this, by the way, in the leaked achievements list. Curtis Trent's abilities. Here we go, this guy. So, let's see what they did for the remaster. Curtis Trent has always been a character of immense untapped potential. That's an understatement of 2.5 decades. Well, no, 2 decades and 2 years. As an ex-legionnaire trained in the ways of the Lux Veritatis. See how cool this sounds, but we get this. Oh my god, okay. He possesses psychic abilities. Why does Curtis trigger me so much? Including the power to control the discus-like blade known as the Kirugai or Chirugai. Curtis's movement contrasts with Lara's being heavier and less graceful. That's a very polite way of saying he controls like ass in the original, while Lara's athleticism and gymnastic abilities gave her a lighter, more agile style. Curtis relies on his mental powers and physical endurance, which results in a slower, more deliberate style. Okay, but exactly, this is the untapped potential, because all it resulted in the original release was controlling just like Lara, but worse. So hopefully there are gonna be some advantages to his heavier frame this time. I don't know, I want to be careful with my expectations, because that would also imply doing changes to the level design to take advantages of Curtis's moveset, and I don't think that's actually what's gonna happen. So, Tomb Raider 4, 5, 6 Remaster restores Curtis' ability to wield Kirugai in-game, which is awesome, because we would see him using in cutscenes, this throwing almost like a chakram that Xena, the warrior princess, would use. While Curtis prefers using his custom-made Boran X pistol, the Kirugai proves invaluable when he runs out of bullets. So I guess we need to run out of ammo and then he automatically switches into it? Or we will be able to switch to it regardless and fall back to it like Lara's infinite ammo pistols in the previous Tomb Raider games. I don't know, I'm really curious about this. Given how terrible the aiming system in the original Angel of Darkness was, maybe in the remastered version, but with the original control scheme, Kirugai would be even better than using a pistol as Curtis, I don't know. We'll see, but this one I'm really looking forward to playing around with. Curtis can also project Psychic Shield around his body, which can be quite useful in a boss battle. We all know what boss battle they're talking about. They're talking about Boas, of course. Yeah, it's such a tough boss battle because it uses a lock-on mechanic that was never explained in the game, and unless you know this in advance, you're just gonna die over and over and over and not make any progress. So, he can now sprint like Lara. Oh, he was not able to. Okay, I don't even remember that. And shoot around corners while in stealth mode. Okay, so this is possible by both characters, which is cool. Parisian Backstreets training area. Okay, so I talked about them not making actual changes to the level design, but here is an instance where they actually make an entirely almost new level to the remastered version of the game. In the original Angel of Darkness, the Parisian Backstreets level hid an unfinished training area where players could learn the commander crawl ability, which was never taught elsewhere in the game. Players could, however, access the area to explore it using various tools. So there was a locked grate in the original, and okay, again, this is my unfamiliarness with Angel of Darkness, but you guys can let me know in the comments, how was it accessible in the original? I mean, did you have to use some debug mode or cheats, or was I just stupid and never figure out you can access an entire area in the original release of the game? How was this implemented in the OG? I would appreciate you guys letting me know, so that I can also in turn appreciate what the remasters do differently. Tomb Raider 456 Remastered fully restores this trainings area, so they say it was unfinished in the OG, but accessible or not accessible? I'm confused now. Allowing players to choose whether they want to take this route or the one from the original game. I'm a completionist, I want all the goodies, so can we do both maybe? That's gonna be a challenge. Purchasable items from Renee's pawn shop and Herbalist. See, Herbalist, I talked about Herbalist briefly. So Daniel Rene pawn shop serves as a front where customers can purchase various items under the counter. In the original game, Lara could sell valuables she found along the way for money, however, aside from bribes, she didn't have much use. Wait, so Rene was never selling stuff? He was only buying stuff from you? That's not how I remember this. But again, maybe my memory is just messed up. It was a long time ago I played it. Now, Renee's pawn shop is the place where Lara can obtain weapons and weapon accessories such as the silencer, laser sight, giving players a reason to search the Parisian ghetto for misplaced euros. Awesome. I am so happy when games give you actual reason to spend the in-game currency. By the way, one thing about laser sight, and I'm not sure if they're gonna play around with this for Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles Remastered, but in the New York chapter of the game in the BCI building, the MP5 that Lara's carrying was originally not supposed to have a silencer. Sorry, actually I'm talking about the silencer, I don't know why I highlighted laser sight. And you would find silencer as an optional upgrade that you could then combine using the combining feature introduced by Tomb Raider 4 into a silenced version of the MP5, which was supposed to give you gameplay advantages. How do I know this? This is mentioned in the in-game manual of Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles that I actually have. And the thing is, I don't know if the remastered version of Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles is also going to restore this cut content that you're going to have to find the silencer first, or if they're just going to roll with it how it was, you know, in the actual release on consoles and PC, and that's just MP5 came with a silencer and that's it. So I'm really curious myself how this will be handled in TR5. Similarly, the Willow Tree Herbalist now plays a more significant role than simply providing Lara with information. Yeah, I always found this weird that I couldn't buy anything from him as a shopkeeper. Lara's able to purchase healing items such as first aid kits and poison antidotes. Was poison a mechanic in Angel of Darkness? Again, you guys who are experienced with the game through and through can let me know. Unused voice lines. Oh, awesome. Notebook notes and inventory items. Notebook is such a good addition to AOD. It's something that actually was supposed to be already in the first Tomb Raider, but was a cut content, unfortunately. They made a little bit of a reference to that in Tomb Raider Anniversary Remake, but it was... there were really only few spots Lara would say anything noteworthy. The notebook in Angel of Darkness is actually awesome. Various voice lines from Lara and Curtis have been restored. Cool, providing more context to help players better understand the story and offer additional hints. So specifically to understand story, again, I want to keep my expectations low. I don't think anyone's gonna explain who the hell Karel is, but hey, more lines, more story, which is where the game excels. That's good. Easy to miss in the original game, Werner von Croy's notebook now opens automatically. Actually, some people would never even open it up during the course of the entire playthrough. That's how kind of side content missable thing it was. For the first time, Lara wakes up in the derelict railway carriage containing crucial story and puzzle related information. The notebook has been updated with new entries that are added as the game progresses. You know what? One thing I'm really looking forward to is Opening up the notebook and the resolution not being messed up as it is on the original version, even if you use some widescreen resolution patches and fan-made utilities, it's difficult to get the notebook letters to look right on modern PCs, so again, I'm looking forward to that. Additionally, some inventory items have been restored, such as Von Croy's cane, which holds a secret that can only be unlocked in the inventory. Okay, now that I'm looking forward to. So this is the cane he carries with him across the Last Revelation as well. And it's funny, because in Last Revelation you can collect an optional item, Von Croy sunglasses, if you find a particular secret at a particular point in the story. Now we get his crane. I mean, maybe we'll be, gathering pieces of his outfit to unlock. I'm being sarcastic, of course, but still, I'm looking forward to figuring out what this is all about. These are just a few examples of the restored content in the remastered version of the Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. To uncover more, join Lara on her darkest adventures in Tomb Raider 4.6 Remastered, releasing on February 14th, in 1 week at the time of me recording this. So guys, them's my thoughts, okay? Again, I felt a bit uncomfortable tackling the Angel of Darkness, as I'm hardly a veteran or experienced with it, but I do love and care about the franchise. I hope, despite my rant about Curtis, that shows I care about it. And I also want to respect the fact that I might not like things that you guys like, and vice versa, right? And we all care about the franchise in our own unique way. We can all be, respectful and nice about it. So, for me, kind of the highlight of this whole thing is the ton of new animations they put into it. Despite the fact that I only consider the slide to run to be the only useful one, I'm happy to see more of them. Maybe as I'll play it will click with me and start making sense why I would want to re-enable them rather than just rolling into hanging from ledges all the time. We'll see. Again, for those of you who already know we'll be playing these games with modern controls for Tomb Raider 4 and 5 especially, let me know what you think about the new animations. For tank controls, they might not be quite the game changer. Nevertheless, I hope we'll see them also re-implemented into 1.2.3 Remastered via a patch, as well as all the, photo mode goodies, camera angles, that sort of thing. I know we're no longer living in the golden age of machinima or anything like that, and this just aged me and the whole video instantly by like 2 decades, but still, those are going to be a lot of fun. And finally, as it pertains to the confirmation that Saber are working on this, when I found out, it just really put my mind at ease, because if these are at least mostly the same people handling it as Tomb Raider 1.2.3 Remasters, it gives me hope. One thing I'm a bit concerned about, of course, is, again, what's the launch state going to be like? Are there going to be achievements that aren't going to work? Is there going to be an entirely inaccessible level, like the All Hallows level in Tomb Raider 3 was upon release? That sort of thing. Now, since I know that by the time these release, I will still be tackling Tomb Raider 3, I am at peace, because I know I'll have a bit of time buffer before start tackling Tomb Raider 4 properly. For them to release some major patches and that sort of thing. But I also want the rest of you guys to have a really proper, good, full-on launch experience, and I assume there's going to be many of you who are just going to jump into Angel of Darkness, who for such a huge chunk of the community is their favorite game ever. Again, like I said before, I don't understand why. It's my most disliked entry in the franchise. But again, I'm not trying to diss you for liking Angel of Darkness. I'm genuinely trying to understand where this love is coming from. And that's why I welcome your comments, sharing your fond memories of Angel of Darkness or why you love it. From what I've gathered so far is the atmosphere and emphasis on story, but no one mentions the controls or really even level design. It's the story and atmosphere that people seem to love it for. But if you love it for some different reason, again, please let me know. And honestly, the Angel of Darkness remaster, it's kind of a loose cannon. It could turn out either way, but I don't think it's going to be worse than the original PC and PS2 release. At least that's my hope, right? Given what they showed so far. It honestly it released in such a poor state that it can only get better from here. And I'm kind of gonna look forward to, when it releases, just jumping to Angel of Darkness and testing out the modern control scheme. And who knows, maybe it's gonna be so good and fluent that I'm gonna love the game. I don't know, that would be the best possible scenario, of course, right? It's not gonna become my most favorite, not by a long shot, but to actually have a good time with it, yeah? So that's essentially it. Hope you guys found this video useful, just me ranting on about all the information we have so far. Again, 1 week from release. When the release happens, not on February 14th, because in Slovakia it will come 1 day later, assuming it's gonna be like last year. Last year I took a day off, specifically on February 14th, and then across all storefronts there was a countdown, like 22, 23 hours till essentially February 15th until the damn thing releases. So I assume that's going to be the case this year as well, so expect coverage from me a bit later on. I'm going to do something like a first impressions video, just jumping into all 3 games from the very get-go, getting the first impressions, testing the new moveset, seeing the options. I'm really still curious how the different menus are going to toggle in between each other. If you're going to be able to boot up the game and just toggle seamlessly into Angel of Darkness like with 1, 2, 3 Remastered. So many mysteries still. Is it going to be horizontal? Is it going to be vertical? Probably only horizontal makes sense this time around. We'll see, I don't know. And essentially the new control scheme for Angel of Darkness, that's the biggest mystery right now for me. So yeah, them's my thoughts. One cool thing, guys, feel free to share your comments in this video. At least as it was case last year, the developers have been listening to our feedback. Actually, there was even a Tomb Raider article with Chris Bashar from Aspyr, so the guy responsible for the first PlayStation blog post ever last year. And they dropped my name, that they are listening to Zelgaris115's feedback, and also Gionetta. His channel, by the way, is really funny. He has a very witty coverage of all these topics, so check out Gionetta as well. And that just, warmed my little Tomb Raider heart, despite the fact I learned about it a year later, that they are listening. Also the fact they changed the color of Lara's shades for the VCI building outfit in Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles. They clearly are. So whatever you're gonna say as a comment, feel free to drop one, and it might just get picked up by the original developers. I can't stress how important it is. And of course, let's keep the conversation thoughtful and respectful. And finally, in case someone from Saber is listening and Aspyr, and this is probably a thing they have already considered, and I don't know how, technically difficult it'd be to pull off, but one of the things fans are really desiring is the gallery, because the original Tomb Raider 4 and 5 had the galleries. Tomb Raider 4 had a gallery for the Sega Dreamcast version of the game, which is actually the best version of Tomb Raider 4, interestingly enough. And Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles had unlockable gallery. Given the number of secrets you will find in each chapter, it will unlock another part of the gallery with already some promo materials and teases for Angel of Darkness, and it actually had different unlockables for the PS1 version of Chronicles and for the PC one. One day I hope to make a video where I'm gonna show you both, because I have both PS1 version on my dock station installed and the PC version 100% installed via, I don't know if GOG or Steam version, doesn't matter. So there's a gallery for Tomb Raider Chronicles, and it would be a real bummer if this wouldn't make it to the remasters. And also, coming back to the very original PlayStation blog post, was it the second one after? I can't remember, it all blends together somewhat. They mention unlockable art badges. Remember guys, no one talks about these, no one probably even remembers these, but when it was announced last year, they mentioned unlockable art badges. So something like an art gallery might actually be coming. And for a final thing, and an interesting point raised by a couple of people via comments, and I never really thought about it, but it's a genius idea, but maybe technically difficult to implement, I don't know. If there's an option to switch between modern and tank controls on the go, and it could either be a dedicated hotkey, which on controllers could be difficult because all the keys are essentially used now, I think, for modern controls, but maybe a combination of keys, or on keyboard it would be easy to implement, where you wouldn't have to open up a menu to switch between tank and modern controls and could do it on the fly, and maybe some icon of Lara in a different stance will pop up on the screen and then disappear, just notifying you switch to that kind of control. Something along those lines. I'm thinking of the icon from the playable cinematic moments in Tomb Raider Legend, for example the collapsing bridge where helicopter was shooting at you back in Bolivia and a little blue icon of Lara would pop up on the screen. Something like that, very subtle, gets the point across, and it will show you that you toggled into different control scheme. Also, a couple of people have had the idea to maybe, if you use the D-pad, the game will automatically switch to tank controls, and if you push the analog stick, the game will automatically switch to modern controls, which is really interesting. Now, I know there's people who would prefer to use the analog stick for tank controls and maybe the D-pad for modern controls. That could all be a setting in the in-game's options menu, but maybe there could be like a, tank, modern, or smart setting, a third toggleable option in the menu, and if you choose the smart one, depending on if on your controller you use the D-pad or analog stick, the control scheme would change on the go. And combining both control schemes like this on the fly would really, really improve upon the game a lot. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. You guys in Saber probably had conversations about this already, but these are my thoughts, and actually an improvement on my original thought by people commenting on my videos that, just you know, make it toggleable via a D-pad and analog stick. That's it. So it sounds great. And again, I don't know how difficult this would be technically to do, but if it's something you guys can consider, you know, maybe for the release or for the future patch, that would be awesome. But you'll probably have your hands full with just making sure the game runs. I get that. Okay guys, so those are all my thoughts. I hope you found this very long video a bit informative or useful, and you know, let me know, are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna wait for reviews first? Are you pre-ordering? You know, let me know in the comments. And I'm gonna see you on February 15th or 16th, depending on how fast I'll be, with some of my first impressions. I'll still be tackling Tomb Raider 3 and then the Lost Artifact expansion, but I would also love to maybe start just via making a Let's Play video for the Times exclusive level for Tomb Raider 4, because hey, it takes place before the events of Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation proper, right? Well, except for the tutorial levels in Cambodia, which take place before even Tomb Raider 1, but that's not here or there. So that's probably how I'm gonna go about it, and I'm gonna be a bit late to the party given the full hands I have with the previous Remastered collection and these releasing, you know, on an annual basis now. Interesting implication for LAU, possible re-release. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway guys, thank you for sticking around, and before I'll say goodbye and wish you happy raiding, I would like to say thanks to my absolutely amazing patrons. Blangupel, Mick, Severin Drex, Enstickle, Katie Danger, and Buddha2. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons, and for holding Lara's tea as she's messing around with a new camera view. Next, I would like to give big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Michael McConkey, Karavetu, Renegade Durney, and Blanket Fox. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and also for taking Lara to wellness frequently, meaning she's in her peak physical performance, her joints are like well-oiled machine, and she's able to perform all these new moves. I would also like to give special thanks to both of my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paveglianiti and Alexander. Thank you guys both so much for your valiant support of the channel, and also for forcing Lara in AOD to finally go through that previously inaccessible training area. With your harsh training and discipline, she's finally gonna be able to master that commando crawl technique. And finally, I would like to give one very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and generous support of the channel, and also for keeping Von Croy's notebook safely tucked away in Lara's walking freezer. This way, you've preserved it for over 2 decades, and now it's gonna come out for the release of AOD Remastered, and we are gonna see it preserved in its full glory, perhaps with new pictures, with new story beats. Who knows what kind of information is there? We're gonna see it in 1 week's time, and it's all thanks to your freezer and your preservation efforts. Thank you again. Your support is what essentially enables me to literally afford to spend more time making these videos. Also, especially considering since I keep all of them completely demonetized so that there are no ads interrupting you, as you're watching a Let's Play series or an analysis video like this. I really appreciate that. And on a final note, I would also like to thank my free Patreon members, as well as to you guys for watching and making it this far. Now, next time we're gonna see each other very soon is me tackling Tomb Raider 3's Antarctica Let's Play series. And it's my most favorite Tomb Raider 3 level, in fact. And in 1 week's time, I'm gonna be there either on February 15th or 16th for kind of my hands-on first impressions for the 456 trilogy. Almost a review, although I've never really made a review. We'll see what I'll come up with. So, that's where I'm gonna see you guys next. Until then, I wish you all happy raiding.